Okay, so today I'm packing some bearings for my CB750. I'm swapping front ends from a CB750 to a Goldwing 78 to 75, and I had ball bearings before, and I'm going to taper bearings because hopefully they'll last longer. So the first thing, I make sure that this whole area is clear and clean. And I waited until the last minute to open up the bearings because you got to open them up when you can't pack them. But if you open them up ahead of time, then they might get dirty and then you have to clean them out. So it's a basic thing, but I got a nice fresh can of grease that I know is clean, so I'm not going to get any grit. And then I'm using the wrapper here. I've cleaned this, I put this here, and I'm wearing a pair of nitrile gloves. Not because I don't like getting greasy, but because when I'm done packing this bearing, I'm going to use the glove to seal up the bearing so no dirt's going to get in there. You can go close up on this part. So what I'm doing is I got a big pile of grease here. I've got the bearing, I've got this edge which is open, and I'm just taking it and I'm pumping in a little bit of grease. So I'm moving up in little crescent shapes, and eventually the grease is going to come out the top. This is actually easier if you're not wearing a nitrile glove, and you get your hand all greasy. And it's not that I'm afraid of getting grease on my hand per se, but there you can just see that the grease is coming through right there. See that? That means that that whole space in there has been filled, so now I can turn it to the next spot and start pumping again. And go a little bit faster since there you go. See how that's coming through there? And just keep going. There, I got almost all the way done. And usually a good idea to go back to if you go more than a rotation. So then you go, see, that's in there. And eventually you get all that grease. It winds up in the middle of the race where it's doing no good. But you just kind of squeeze that back out. Okay, there we go. Packing bearings is really basic, but you want to make sure you do a good job, and you don't want anything in here but the bearing and the grease. So I've got a little bit of extra grease there. I'm just going to paint that around the edge, and then I'm going to take this. The grease makes this a little bit harder. There you go. Hands clean, bearing is greased. Stick it back with its race, wrap it up, put it in the box, and then you do the second bearing and you're done. You can pause that.